Best exercise you think for overall weight training?
Overall functionality, I would say, is a squat press.
What's that?
It's basically dumbbells in hand at the side, nice smooth squat down, pick them up, put them over a head. I describe it to people as you pick up a box, put it on a shelf.
Okay.
It covers the whole body and it's a functional movement.
New.
I'd have to say the best exercise ergonomically is a deadlift, because no matter how old, how young, how pregnant, whatever life stage you're in, you're going to be able to pick something up, be able to hold it from the ground to your waist.
Okay.
And that's phase one of what will eventually be the squat press.
All right. We're talking weight training, health clubs, gyms, memberships. I'm Joe Ducey with the Better Business Bureau, and this is Joe Knows Better. Okay, with us now is Greg LeFever, a founder of Impowered Fitness, and that is in Tustin, and Webb Travis, a founder of Turf Health Club Gym in Newport Beach. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right, let's talk. This is probably going to air the end of the year, so it's. Do you find is it a stereotype, or is it pretty true that people seem to start at the beginning of the year?
I think it's a staple and
so it is
guaranteed in our line of work.
Okay, so it's not just something people used to do or talked about. Like people do have New Year's resolutions and do say, "Hey, man, that's when I'm going to make it happen."
Absolutely.
Okay.
Especially after a gluttonous 4 to 6 weeks towards the end of the year.
Yes.
So that's probably part of it. They're looking forward to doing the gluttony and then the redemption.
They do it on purpose. It's intentional.
All right. So how many of those people do you think last? How many of those people actually go and stay with their program for 6 months a year?
I like to hope they do it more than 6 months, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's hit or miss. It depends on the person. It depends on what life-changing circumstance might have happened, what kind of motivation do they have.
Yeah.
I've had someone who came to me and she was just very upset with her body, and over the course of 2 years, she lost over 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And then we had someone who started about the same time, and she probably lasted about 3 months, and she lost like 15 pounds, but it wasn't as fast as she wanted. And the same issue we run to everyone is that they're just not persistent, they're not consistent, they're not patient.
Okay.
They want it now. They want the magic O pill.
Do you see the same thing?
I do see the same thing. It's a small percentage. Yeah, exactly. It's a small percentage that sticks with it.
Yeah.
Most people don't take the time, I've spoken about this a number of times, to figure out why they're doing it.
Yeah.
They just make the resolution at the moment. They're at a party. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do this again.
Yeah.
How many times have you said that year after year? What's different this time? So it's our job, especially us as business owners in the size business that we have. We're more personal. I'll speak a little for you because we're similar in that respect. We care for our clients. So we're going to help and push them a little further. So we're going to have a longer retention rate. Yeah, for sure.
And both of you don't have traditional gyms.
No.
But you, Webb, have worked at a traditional gym for a period of times.
Yes, I worked at Equinox for almost a decade.
Okay.
And it was a lot of fun and learned a lot of things and met a lot of great people out of it. But I also learned how I want to operate my own business because of it.
Okay. I have so many things to ask because I've been involved with health clubs for years. And I think a lot of people probably listening have. So where do we want to start here? Let's talk about people joining. Okay, let's talk about what they should be doing so that maybe they aren't one of those stats where they quit after 3 months. What do you think should happen when a person's looking at a gym? What is something? Do they need to visit the gym? Do they need to be there for a period of time? What would you say? You want to start with?
Sure. I think the biggest thing you want to look at when you're picking a gym is community. Community is one of the biggest pillars in my gym and our business. And it's like invest in the community in the four walls and invest in the community outside the four walls. I'm going to go to that gym because I know my friends are there. I'm going to go to that gym because I feel I have a rapport with the instructor. Or if I'm picking the gym and I have no clue and I'm new to the area, I'm going to go on Yelp or Instagram or ClassPass or whatever any booking online system they have and see what the reviews are and see what the positivity is coming out of it.
Okay.
And typically the more positive remarks, more likely you're going to have people a higher success rate of them coming to check you out.
Okay. And then now you offer something where they can check you out for a period of time?
Yeah. We have a 3-day pass. If they're doing open gym, check it out. And if they download our Turf app, which we get their information from that, then they're on our email list so they can be in the future. If they wish to unsubscribe, they can.
Okay.
But with that, they have the opportunity to book their first class free and check it out. And we'll set them up with a trainer if they wish. They get a free consultation. And if they want to explore that option, they can. No pressure.
Okay. All right. What about you, Greg? I know your gym has been open for a short period of time.
Short period. This specific location,
right.
short period of time. Yeah, we just changed
But
locations.
now you're doing this out of your house.
I was previously.
Training.
Yeah. And we grew and we expanded. And we needed to reach more people. Same reason. We're all about community, relationships, and that's what makes us both different than the big boxes. They don't even look at you when you walk in the door. They scan the card and say hi. I had a lady come in, just fun story. I had a lady come in, new lady. I was at the other end of the gym. I had 4 people training, small group, and she walked in. She was greeted by every client as she walked by before she even got to me. So there's the difference right there is the clients greet you. It's a community. Just like he said, we're inside, we're outside. It's the people that you know. Someone's dentist was in there. Oh my God, that's my kid's dentist.
Yeah.
It's a relationship place. It's a community place. So we're more homey. We're more focused on that versus your big box. So if you're choosing a gym just because you want to go in and get a workout and you think you already know what you're doing, you can go ahead and do that. Our clientele comes to us because they don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah. They
don't want to go to the gym and feel intimidated. Everything we do is coached, a little different than his.
Yeah.
It's all coach based. So whether it's small group, semi-private training, it's one of the dance fitness classes, it's all coach led. So someone is always there with you. Like I'm branded as Coach Greg. Everybody calls me Coach or Coach Greg. I'm not a trainer. Training is part of what I do.
Yeah.
Because coaching is education, motivation, accountability, and tough love. It's not, hey, here's a workout, good luck.
Wait, it's that tough love part.
Yeah, that's a good part. That's right. And where are you? I'm texting, where are you? And I think this is all I can do today. I don't think that's all you can do today. How about a little bit more?
You would say go through, I guess what you're saying is that connections there keep people coming back, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's more of a personal feeling there. Now, do you also offer a free trial?
We do. 7-day free trial or free consult. You come in. It's really about us finding out from the client perspective, go to some place that they want to learn about you.
Yeah.
Most of these big box gyms, they want your money, sign up, lock you in, like you said earlier, take your money, don't let them out. Ours is the opposite of that. Is you're going to do the talking because I need to know about you.
Yeah.
How am I going to take care of you? How are we going to get that long term? Like he was talking about, how do you get that long term success? How do we get you to stay? I had an argument with an MBA professor. She's like, gym memberships last 4 months. I'm like, excuse me, mine are 2 years or more. She's like, no, that's not right. I'm like, mine's real life. Yes, it is. It's about the approach. So a big box is not. Big, small community relationship is.
Now, do you have contracts? Do you sign contracts with them for a period of time, a year? Can you
They
get out?
sign the waiver, obviously for liability purposes.
Yeah.
We don't have any contracts. It's just month to month.
Okay.
If they wish to freeze it, they need to cancel it. They can do it at any time.
And that's kind of the way for now. I know the big chains. I don't know if they still have contracts or not. Actually.
They do have contracts.
Okay.
It's probably one of the
used to.
reasons I left, because I had a few clients that they left for a period of time and they didn't cancel their contract properly.
Yeah.
And so they got dinged like $600, $800, which is no penny or whatever, however you look at it. And just a disagreement with management on their side, and then it trickled down to me, and I just realized I could do it better.
Yeah.
And like, people come and go. It's life. Things happen. Hey, I'm going to be gone for the next 3 months for summer. Great. We'll freeze your membership when you're back. Just let us know. We'll activate it when you get back here.
Okay. So really talk to the gym about the refund policy if they're looking at any of these places, I guess.
Absolutely. Make sure you don't get locked in and you can't get out. He and I are the same.
Okay.
It's your relationship and your results that are going to keep you coming back.
Right.
I've already had somebody's like, oh my gosh, this just happened. And can I stop? Of course you can, because you're going to leave happy. You're going to tell your friends how great it is. I don't want you disgruntled and upset for a few bucks. That doesn't matter. It's your relationship. You'll come back. I know you will. You'll come back.
Both of you have been involved with personal training, right?
Yes.
Have you been personal trainers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what, at some of these other gyms, and I've only had experiences really at these chain gyms, they kind of bring personal trainers up all the time. And I see people being approached. I don't know if that's typical, or when should a person, or when would a person benefit from having a personal trainer? What should it be something that they're really motivated? What do they want out of this, and when is that worth the money?
I'll take a stab at this.
Yeah, right.
I think there's 2 misconceptions, or 2 points that I want to make. Number one, anyone can hire a trainer and anyone can be a trainer.
Yeah.
What segues, I would like to say, Greg and I, is that we like to be portrayed as coaches, where we have gone more than kinesiology, more than exercise science. You can get an online personal training certification today if you want to stay up for 10 hours and do it, but it's all open book, not timed. You can Google the answers. Okay. And there's one
So you're not
or 2,
working with, you're not on hands-on experience, that kind of thing.
Correct. They're not actually going through an education.
Right.
There's multiple certifications out there where you have to do 3 to 6 months of online seminars, clinical work, sending the homework, just understand what it is.
Yeah.
I have both my bachelor's and my master's in kinesiology.
Yeah.
I loved it. I lived it. I was one of the head coaches in college for our women's and men's hockey team. I opened a gym by accident, which we'll talk about later. Sold it, paid for all my college loans and then some.
Yeah.
And I just feel that people need to hire a coach when they are realizing there's something that they're not the pro at.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to do a triathlon. Do you have any experience with that? You're going to hire this person over here who's a personal trainer, but their focus is, call it MMA, mixed martial arts, or the strength training. They have no experience doing triathlon. I'm going to go work with my coach Tyler, who is an ultra racer, a triathlete, high rocks champion. Like, I'm going to work with him because this is what he does.
Okay.
So you want to find the people that are in their expertise and work with that coach.
Okay, man. But man, I don't know if the people do that. They just got to come in and just are led, in some ways. But they need to be asking questions.
Yeah,
they do.
In order to do that.
They do. I would agree with everything you just said. Most people need a coach.
Yeah.
As guys, the guys are the funnier part than the women. They kind of realize that the guys are like, well, I was an athlete in high school. Good for you. Good for you. Look at you now. Yeah. You're clearly not in high school and you're not in shape. What happened? Where's your coach?
Yeah.
But ask them, hey, who's your favorite athlete? How many coaches do you think that athlete has? 3, 4, probably. Why is it good enough for them but not you? Because you're smarter than them. You're not. But like you said, we have the life experience. I've been doing this I shudder to say, for about 40 years.
How'd you get involved? How did you start? Why?
I started in 15 years old in a garage lifting with my buddy. He went the bodybuilding route, the full bodybuilding route, but I stayed with him. We studied our own books on the side. We read, we lived it. Same thing. You live it, you read it.
You're not as old as me, but did you have the little bench with the very narrow bars?
I'm as old as you. Oh, yeah. That's kind of how we started this whole thing.
Yeah.
But then it kind of just kept growing from there. I have a business major because the kinesiology and all that really wasn't something yet. I was Cal State Fullerton, who has a really good program now, I understand, but it wasn't there yet. So we kept studying on our own. So I'm reading things on my own. I've read the Nutrition Almanac. I'm a geek. Who reads that? But that kind of studying, because it was interesting.
I think you want to hire a geek. That's
right, exactly. You ask a question, I'm going to give you the full answer.
Yeah.
Some people said, hey, so this person told me this. I'm like, who is that person? How are they qualified?
Yeah.
That's usually what I ask people.
But they're on TikTok, so it's true, right?
Right. I saw this guy. Hey, chocolate milk's great for you. Is it really? Like, let's read who read the article. Oh, who wrote the article? The milk company wrote it.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Because it's better than leading protein. No, it isn't. So, it's things you got to go to the expert. He's the expert in what he does. I'm the expert in what I do. And we're experts.
How did you start?
How did I start?
Yeah. Was it the same kind of thing? Were you young and
I worked out growing up here. I grew up in upstate New York. We had a farm. I baled hay, sheared sheep, and then went to college, played rugby. The end of my freshman year, I was like 285, and I was like, all right, I saw some pictures on Facebook just as it came out. I'm like, oh, who's that fat kid? I'm like, holy smokes, it's me. I gained like 60 pounds my freshman year. I was on the rugby team, second row, winning games, drinking beers, eating pizza, not caring about workout was like optional. We just go lift some heavy weights and go crack beers and have practice. Fast forward over a course of a year, I lost 100 pounds. I did a fitness competition. I took third. My coach / friend, Alan, who, to give you an idea of his fitness level, his crazy level, he's a Secret Service agent now. And so he trained me. And then at the end of the year, losing 100 pounds, he was like, hey, we have a spot open up. One of the trainers doesn't come back in the fall. He's like, I'm a supervisor. Let's get your foot in the door and get you hired. Yeah. Got hired. I changed my major from drawing and painting over to marketing and advertisement because I realized that I didn't want to be a starving artist. Yeah. Part of having the personal training job, you had to take nutrition classes as part of the thing. So I started taking that, really got into it. Yeah. And at the end of my junior year, I became a double major. So I had my marketing degree and my other bachelor's in kinesiology. Oh, wow. And then when I went to school, I got my master's in business administration right after undergrad. Did that. It was a 2-year program, did it in 1 year, fast tracked it while having a gym with 20 employees, sold it, paid for all my college loans. And then when COVID happened, 2020, on top of doing some other side
you were
hustles.
in college when you had the gym?
Yeah.
And 20 employees?
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. Okay.
One of my clients owned a space, and it just didn't work out for the main college gym. Yeah. There was a field house in the main college gym. Yeah. The field house started going under construction, so they put all the athletes over to the main gym. They're like, oh, athlete hours is now 7 to 9 every day, Monday through Friday. Is to train my client, Dr. C, at 7 a.m. So they're like, you can't train him here anymore at this time. Okay. He's like, well, I own the building over there, so let's build our own gym. And we literally did. And then some of the trainers are like, hey, can we come too? Be bring our clients? I'm like, sure. I'm like, hey, doc, how do you want to handle this? He's
So
like,
you know what's
have them pay you.
Nice.
And
what's
we
really
ran it
interesting is
all.
just you both kind of built your own gyms. That's kind of out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
That's really interesting. Let's go in. I know people are probably want to know. We went over health clubs, some of the things that they should be doing. So if let's, I don't know if you feel comfortable with that, but if people, you probably get people all the time, I want to lose weight.
Yep.
So they're probably losing weight or gaining muscle, sometimes both. But let's go one or the other. Let's go losing weight. What would you say to people? What's the number one? Well, they're eating. I guess they're eating more than they need. Is that
Usually.
basically it?
Almost like number one. Start cutting stuff in half.
It's either they're not eating enough, they're in a severe calorie deficit where their body is holding on to everything possible because it's starving. Or
so
it's
that can happen.
It can happen. Or they're in a extreme calorie overload and they just can't lose weight because they don't know. Like, I'm only eating this. I'm only eating this. But you're not taking the snacks, the sodas, the liquids, the dressings, all the things.
Yeah, you write it down. We always make people write it down.
Yeah.
Write it down 2 days. Don't make it rocket science.
Everything?
What did you eat? Everything you ate and everything you drank 2 days on what time? Mm-hmm. We'll start high level.
Do you see people cheating even with that?
100%.
Yeah, for sure. But you can say, okay.
Although it really helps them to write every single
just,
thing down because they can then make the progress.
You can see it. When you start to have to write it down, you're like, oh, crud, I'm eating a whole lot more than I thought I was. I had a lady who wanted to lose weight, and she's like, I keep gaining weight. And then, I'm training more with you. And I said, we got down to it. And she's like, eating chocolate every night. I mean, how much?
Okay.
Are you having like a little square? It's like, 10 or 11 or 12, Hershey's Kisses or more.
But that's all I have. That's my only dessert.
Yeah, but it's that. I'm sure she was eating a lot too. I said, stop telling people you're training with me. Well, why? I'm like, because you're not being a good example right now.
Training.
Yeah, don't tell them you're losing what you're gaining weight, and it's look. Let's dial this in. Some people are resistant to it for whatever reason. A lot of it's psychology, the weight loss thing. But he's right. It's either I have people like, oh yeah, I eat really good. What does that mean? I eat one giant meal at night. I'm like, okay, what's the worst possible thing to do?
Yeah.
A giant meal and at night. You're gonna keep that with you.
Can you exercise your weight off if you keep the same intake?
In theory.
Because I didn't think you could. I thought it was the intake that really matters.
Here's the thing. Everyone has a thing called our BMR, your basal metabolic rate. It's your metabolism rest. So literally sitting here doing nothing, talk and chill, Netflix and chill all day, my body is at 2,200 calories. So doing nothing, I'm burning 2,200 calories a day.
Okay.
But I'm doing more than that. I've been on my feet. I already did a 3-mile walk with my dog this morning. I've been demonstrating exercise all day. I have a double workout tonight. Yeah. When it's all said and done, I burn about 4,000 calories, sometimes a little bit more on days like this. And so I'm eating, for me, as close as I can to like 4,000 calories. So I'm trying to maintain weight.
Right.
Granted, I just came back from Italy and ate more than I needed to, but that's okay. Possibly. Calories in Italy don't count. Calories in Italy don't count.
They don't count.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, they don't.
They don't.
Okay.
Because, and fun fact, actually, when I was there, and we'll talk about this later if we have time, I lost 6 pounds. All right. I was eating pasta every day, burrata cheese, all the jazz, drinking wine. I came back lighter than when I went there. Because the food quality is better. They don't say organic anything over there because everything is organic.
Interesting.
All right, it's not backed by big pharma or the milk.
So you're advising
you also
people,
probably walked a lot.
I did walk a lot, but no more than I do here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
All right. So I'm just going to put it out there. People want to lose weight. What do they do?
First things first, just create a habit. All right. If they can take one new habit every 2 to 3 weeks, it becomes part of their lifestyle. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons that most people fail is because we're humans. We overload. I got to make sure I'm doing cardio. I got to make sure I'm doing weights. I got to make sure I'm drinking the shakes. I make sure I'm drinking this much water. Oh my God, I messed up and I forgot my chicken back at the buffet. They just forget and they mess up and they get discouraged and they give up.
Yeah. And they go to Del Taco on the way home.
Correct.
Forget it. I'm stopping.
But I'm getting the chicken taco.
Yes,
not the beef.
You say that till you pull up to the window.
Yes.
No, it's still
the deluxe
still
burrito.
cheese.
I was gonna say salad, but deluxe burrito popped out.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Chicken's always better, man. Chicken. I have chicken. Yeah.
No, he's right. He's right. Straight one habit at a time, one change at a time. I always tell them too. It's like take your portion and immediately cut it in half. Everything we get here, everything we make here is almost always at least 2 portions.
Okay.
Even a big sandwich, that's 2 sandwiches. He's burning a lot of calories, probably more than most.
So what do they say? Okay, but I'm still hungry. Does that matter?
It'll adjust.
Most of the times also is because we're in such a fast culture. People are stuffing down their food fast. They're like, I'm still hungry.
Too fast.
If you were to take a bite and put your knife and fork down or put the sandwich down, whatever, and chewed your food, swallowed, and then go ahead and have your next bite, they would actually probably get full, and their meal would probably take them a proper 15 to 20 minutes, which is typically how long it takes for your stomach to talk to your brain until you're satiated. Like, I'm full, like, oh. Versus like stuffing it down 5 minutes, I'm like, oh, I'm still hungry.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of it. I definitely had like 4 Wagyu burgers last night.
Yeah.
And I was still hungry. And I'm like, I didn't really breathe on the first 2. So I'm going to take a moment and sit here.
Well, your mind's elsewhere. You know, I mean, you have to really think to make that stuff happen.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a thing.
100% correct.
All right, let's talk then about weight. Not weight gain, but to try to lessen your weight through exercise. So really, you should know your calorie intake. You should really know as close as you can, and then what is expelled through various exercises, correct?
I always tell people to keep it simple. Figure out their BMR. There's so many tools you can do online. You'd actually probably be more educational to go work with the trainer, get an in-body machine, find out what your BMR is from that. An in-body is a machine that gives you an analysis.
And BMR is?
Basal metabolic rate, the metabolism at rest. Yeah. So once we figure out that, let's calculate how much calories you're going to be burning in a workout, give or take. And then we calculate out throughout the week, okay, you should be eating, call it 2,200 calories a week to maintain. Let's put you at least a 10%, maybe a 20% deficit at the most. Okay. Some people go too deep and they lose weight at first, but then your body starts to go catabolic, aka your body's eating muscle instead of burning fat.
Wow.
So 15 to 20% calorie deficit, we'll keep a base max 2,000 calories. They should be eating 150 to 200 calories less. Start with that. Okay, now you're eating these calories. Now, what are your calories consisting of? I try to get people to eat 1 gram of protein per pound, as close as I can, depending on how many times a week are they working out. They're doing 5-6 times a week. You should be eating 1 gram of protein per pound. Okay. If you're 2 times a week, I tell them 0.08, but sometimes people can't do that calculation properly.
Yeah.
Just get as close as you can to your body weight in protein.
And then the workout itself should be weights and aerobic, or most I think we think weight loss, you think aerobic. I'm going to just work it.
I always tell people your body's either a Ferrari engine or you're a Pinto motor. Mm-hmm. Which one's going to burn more gas? Oh, well, clearly the Ferrari's going to burn more gas. So we always talk about quality muscle density. Yep. Even the ladies say you're going to get quality muscle density. You're not going to get big. It's not in your genes.
That's also a concern by some people. I don't want to get big. Oh, I don't want to.
You're not going to.
Right.
I always get the skinny little ladies. I don't want to get big. You can come here 7 days a week and you're not going to get big. It's not going to happen. But yeah, you want to create that quality muscle density because that's what burns your calories. Fat doesn't burn calories. Quality muscle does.
Okay.
So yes,
and that would mean training. What? I guess that doesn't. You can't say specific
training.
Resistance training.
Resistance training.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that also helps with aging. Resistance training.
Resistance training, the bone density, a lot of good qualities. Yeah.
I was think of it this way: like if you're only going to see a trainer, you're going to the gym 2-3 times a week. Chances are they're on their feet somehow, some way, walking, as most people should be at least every day for 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. So if they're doing a walking, that's their aerobic as far as I'm concerned. If they're coming to see us or go to the gym, they should be doing resistance training every time they're there because they can do aerobic every other time, every other day outside whenever they can or whatever.
Now, when they're doing, let me get in the weeds here, but when they're doing fat burning, they're trying to get fat burning, I guess. I don't know if they could do a difference. Do you have to, it's not at the fast pace. I mean, walking can actually be pretty good for, am I right?
Yeah. So there's a thing called LISS, low intensity steady state, which in quote unquote is fat burning.
Yeah.
You can't target calories.
Right.
All right.
Or areas.
No, okay. You want to burn more fat. You need to eat more protein.
Yes.
Increase your resistance training. Actually challenge yourself. If you're doing sets of 15, no problem, you're not challenging yourself. I always tell people the rule 2. If you can do 15, add 2 more reps. You did that, go up 5 pounds. Do it again. Till they find the spot where they're trying to work for those last 1 or 2 reps. Once you find that, that is your sweet spot. That's where you should be. Ultimately, just to feel some muscle soreness, actually see some change in your body. Because if you're not challenging your body won't change.
Okay, agree. A lot of people, the old school of 3 sets of 10.
Yeah.
Like why 10?
Right.
10's a mental block.
Right.
I don't let anybody
do 10.
You
can get 6 at a higher weight.
Yeah, I don't let anybody do 10. You're either going to, if it's 10, you better come be struggling. Like you just said, 9 and 10 should be a challenge.
I see.
If you get to 10 and you could have done 15, you keep going.
Yeah.
I want you to go all the way to the end because we don't start counting reps. I tell my son this. Don't start counting reps till it burns. Yeah, now start counting your reps. Yeah, right. That's where the money is.
Okay.
That's where all the leading up to that's nice. Like you said, unless you're struggling on those last few, you got to make the adjustment.
So most of us basically are pretty lazy.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
did we answer that too fast?
We said that walking into this meeting, we're like, there's a heat advisory out here. It's 85. We're like,
yeah, I know.
Really?
I told you about the 114 in Phoenix.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah. No. I guess the last thing about almost you can use the same thing for weight gain, like people who want to, men and women who want to be bigger, chest, back, shoulders, that kind of thing.
They want to put on muscle mass.
Put on muscle mass. So you would say, I guess, increase the protein.
Yes.
Increase the protein. Usually it's a calorie surplus. And the same thing, I start small, 10 to 20% calorie increase.
Okay. Yeah. Otherwise, you're putting fat on.
Yeah.
You'll end up storing. I tell you, you eat
Even
too
with
much,
protein.
you're going to store it.
Yeah.
You can. Vegetarians like, I'm vegetarian, I should be losing weight.
Right.
Well, no, because you're overeating. Still, if you're back to his original point of if you're overeating your calorie output, you're still overeating. Period.
With the exercises, squats probably, deadlift. You said
I say
good for
compound movements, bench press, squat, deadlift, pull ups, farmer carries. Like those are my top 5.
Farmer carries
Good
being
old-fashioned stuff, yeah.
kettlebells or dumbbells at your side. Good
Yeah.
posture, standing tall, being able to walk a distance period of time. So you have to keep your core tight, your back straight, your head up. So this way you're able to help activate your posterior chain, your glutes, your hamstrings, your back, your lats, all of jazz. You need that to stand tall. As we're getting older, we need that.
Yeah.
And versus the other, what you asked about, the muscle gain, it's got to be a lower rep count.
Low rep count.
Lower rep count, higher stress.
Now, would higher aerobic exercise work against that, or
different schools of thought?
Yeah, different school, different animal. It depends on what is the client's goal.
Right.
If they're training for that
you
half
want to be
marathon,
lean
the marathon,
but bigger? You
again, teach animals different.
Right.
My coach Tyler, who's at our gym, he's an ex-MLB baseball player, was a pitcher for the Giants. He's a High Rocks champion, ultra racer, the whole 9 yards. He will do 2 4-hour-long workouts a day. One will be cardio-based because he needs that endurance, and his other one will be 4 hours of straight, moderate to heavy lifting, low reps, high rounds. Like yesterday, he did an hour AMRAP, as many rounds as possible of, I think it was like 500-meter ski, 20 dumbbell lunges, and like 20 push-ups, and he just kept doing it.
Yeah.
Literally the whole hour. I'd be
man.
bored after 5 rounds. I'm like, dude, I give you
Like-
so much credit. And it's
Squirrel.
Okay.
Yeah.
right.
So, yeah, that's an awesome
But
focus.
he's like,
Okay.
he's just another athlete where literally he will stare, he'll put himself on his bike and he'll stare at a wall with no music just for mental toughness.
Oh,
But your regular person, you definitely want to have let's go to your you got to have the weight training. People that want to do the cardio, usually the hit level cardio, I'm finding. So it's not the steady state that's going to get it.
Okay.
It's run it up, drop it down.
Okay.
Like when I say that, I mean
minute, does that kind of thing? Or
minute
is
30. It depends on the person.
Yeah.
Again, it works different. I know where my sweet spot is.
Yeah.
I'm about 30 on, 30 off.
Okay.
Works for me. 30 on, 30 off, 30 on.
Okay.
I'll do elliptical because it's better for my back.
Yeah.
I got some issues.
Yeah.
But I'll run it all the way up to the top, grind it out for 30, run it about halfway back down, recover.
And your back issues weren't because of weightlifting, I'm sure.
I'm sure not. Yeah,
Those early days
already
back in
told
high
them,
school when you
don't
were-
load up the squat bar anymore. You're getting shorter by the day.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, one last thing
I'm a
about
little older, though.
about injuries. How do you prevent when you're trying to lift bigger weights, or anybody lifting? I guess. I mean, is there a difference between? Can you get? You sometimes hear dumbbells are safer than barbells, like with bench.
To each their own.
Yeah.
To each their own.
It's coaching.
Okay.
When you're lifting heavy and you've got a goal like that, you got to have a coach.
Yeah.
Because that's when form is. So it's everything you just talked about.
Form.
The
So
posterior
form
chain.
is basically it.
Form is
Yeah.
the key to that. Anytime you get heavy, that's when people get hurt. Nothing against CrossFit, but I have people that, hey, I'm going to go do CrossFit. I'm thinking you are just not built for CrossFit.
Yeah.
It's a great program for the people that are in that realm, but it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
I've seen that in another gym. I just kind of know I don't look because the person running this thing, sloppy lifting, is going to be injuries coming. They're not getting taught how to do it properly.
Okay.
And that's where the coaching really matters. That's one of our keys is we're going to teach you how to move. That's the coaching education part. We're going to teach you how to stand right, how to move right, how to lift right, how to stay in your heels, how to work get in the glutes like he's talking about. You're going to learn the basic stuff.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are, you're going to learn it. Athletes, non-athletes, older people, but that's the key to everything. But if you go heavy, you got to have a coach. Like on his side, bring it our way, it doesn't matter, but you get a coach for that.
Okay.
Someone that knows, like he's talking about, someone that knows that's been there
You agree?
for that.
100%.
Okay. All right, guys. Hey, I think that was great. Any last thoughts, or I think we kind of hit it.
When are you going to come work out?
Yeah, I know. That's what I need.
We're both looking at him. So
That's what I need to do.
You're really close to his place right now.
I said
and you're
calories. You
not
said
that far
calories
from
don't
me.
matter. And where it was Italy.
Italy.
Yeah.
Just
I
got to
say
move there full
California.
time.
And calories
Yeah.
don't matter.
Yeah.
But I'm in California.
No, they count here.
Not when you're from Arizona. Anyway, all right. So Greg LeFever, founder of Impowered Fitness, and that's in Tustin.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the website is
Impoweredfitness.com.
that's
I am powered. It's based off the
Impoweredfitness.com.
2 words. I am is I am.
I am. All right. And Webb Travis, founder of Turf in Newport Beach, and the website is
turfnb.com.
TURF. Okay, guys, thanks for being here. That was great.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
I'm Joe Ducey with the Better Business Bureau, helping businesses and consumers get it right.